I can also help you in some of the things.
Thank you, Chair. You're reading my mind. I was about to distribute.
Of course, I know our governor will not know everything. Some of these things happen in
Thank you.
Don't even know.
Appreciate that. So we'll begin with the one on the CR12, and if our advocate here can handle that, please.
Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to refer you to the documents that we've produced, specifically page 16, while juxtaposing it to page 18. The Honorable Committee will notice that we have two sets of CR12, and you'll also notice that in the presentation by the Director, there was a spurious claim that the government has refused to update CR12s. Now, the CR12 in page 16 is the one that we presented upon doing a search on the business registration service. The search was done on the 6th of February 2024. And the one who did the search is actually one of my colleagues in the office. Now, this is a government office, and the CR12 that is before you represents the actual directorship of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital Limited as at 6th February 2024. Now, Chair and the committee will notice that the last two directors are the provincial commissioner and the provincial medical officer. And there's a barcode there just to confirm that indeed this is an official document. We will juxtapose that with the document in page 18. The background of the document in page 18 is a document that was presented by Nakuru War Memorial Hospital Limited in ELC 36 of 2023, the case that is in court. Now that is what has been relied on as a CR12, and you'll notice that it represents the record as at 19th October 2023. However, it is produced on 13th April 2021. Any person who deals with BRS will notice that there is a problem there. But when you look at the directorship, you will realize that actually 4 of the 5 purported directors in 1923 were not born. So that again questions the authenticity of this document. But most importantly, you will notice that the provincial commissioner and the provincial medical officer are not present in the CR12 that has been presented. And you'll remember that during their presentation, it was stated that the origin of Nakuru War Memorial Hospital is actually white settlers, you know, and it was an exclusive white hospital. But on the said CR12, I'm seeing Dr. Mwangi Watene, and this commission, or rather this committee, is led to believe that indeed at the origin of this hospital, it was an exclusive of white settlers and, you know, white people. That therefore then confirms to this committee that the issue of the public trust. Please, Council. Yes. You know, if you spend 1 hour on one question. Chair, let me conclude. We are not in a court of law. Yes. Yeah, just in a summarized manner, give us the details. Chair, I'm very sorry about that. My problem is being detailed. Allow me to conclude by saying that the basis of this hospital was basically a public trust that involved the provincial commissioner on one hand and private individuals for the benefit of the public. How it moved into a private limited company is the question that we are posing today. And maybe before you leave that, what do you have to say about the company number? In 16, I see it is C2/23. In 18, I see it is CS23. And Chair, that is one of the issues that we are raising. One of the documents that has been presented here is actually, and you've deferred the issue of fraud and forgery, so I don't want to comment on that, but one of these documents is actually a falsified document.
Proceed with other questions.
Chair, I'll have Honorable Kihika, the CEC for land, answer.
Maybe respond to the questions in this manner. Can the questions asked by the Senator for Nakuru be responded to first?
And that's what we are on, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. First of all, on the issue of land ownership, I would wish to state that under the current jurisdiction, if a lease expires, the land reverts to the public, and the public is represented by the National Commission and the county government. So in this case, when the land lease expired, it automatically reverted to the county government of Nakuru, whom had now the authority to give or deny consent for the extension of lease. For these purposes, the lease was never, or the extension of lease was never accepted by the county government of Nakuru. Honorable Chair, then you would realize that, as pointed by Senator Mugeni, the lease surrender for the previous lease was not actually registered, as seen in SSP 12. You'd also realize that from the green card, if you refer to the county government of Nakuru's document 52, whereby we are having the green card and also the white card, you would realize that the registrar in Nakuru never actually registered that lease. Both on the green card and also on the white card, you don't see the registrar's signature. And that's why they agreed when we confronted them that actually the lease had to be cancelled through Kenya Gazette. Curiously, Honorable Chair, you realize if you are on page 52, page 52 is a green card, you would see that the first entry there is a 1984 entry that the land had been granted to Nakuru Memorial Hospital and a certificate of lease given in 2010. The next entry is a 2016, a restriction that there be no dealings by the county government of Nakuru. The void arreta dated the 9th of June 2016. So actually the county government of Nakuru had put a restriction on this land, which was curiously also cancelled by a registrar who also did not attend their signature, but they purported that it was entered in error. So that was also another basis of us saying that this lease is not properly registered.
Just one clarification as you answer that question. When was the lease expiring, the exact dates?
The lease, if you calculate 99 years, from the 1st of May 1922, it would have expired on the 30th of April 2021. Honorable Chair.
Proceed.
Okay, thank you, Chair. The other one is on the question by the Honorable Senator for Nakuru about the nature of development, the incinerator that was being built or developed. And Honorable Chair, if you go to page number 26 of the governor's document, just at the top there, you would see that the consultant for War Memorial Hospital clearly states in the application for the extension of lease, if you look number 1, a person shall not carry out development within a county without a development permission being granted by the respective county executive committee member. These are according to section 57 of the Physical and Land Use Planning Act. Honorable Chair, the issue of an incinerator is not a small development because it has a lot of issues concerning health, especially since it was to be used for medical waste, incineration of medical waste. So the county took it without an exception. But again, it was also seen that there was a purported approval, which, as we said before, was not given by the county government, and which, upon investigation, we realized that even the receipts purporting to have been issued by the county were actually forgeries. So it was not a small development. It may be small by by the physical magnitude, but by the environmental impact, it had tremendous implications. I would just wish to state that, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Now let me call the County Secretary, Mr. Moore.
Thank you, Chair. I would wish to respond on a few issues. One of them is the purported death of people emanating from the issues of the hospital. We would request that the hospital, the complainant through this committee, they give us the name of the persons, the date, the time and the venue of death, and probably the post-mortem report so that we can verify with the Register of Death and persons in Nakuru. Further, if there's any complaint to the medical and dentist council, because one of the directors is a doctor and the matron is a nurse, they ought to report to the medical council any harassment of patients because they have the mandate to investigate. On the issue of security, the security of patients between Annex and War Memorial was not about the physical fence. It's one hospital basically that has been partitioned in between, and we share a lot of facilities, to the extent that at some point, PGH Annex could not even construct a toilet for patients because they didn't have a lease, because the whole lease had been given to War Memorial. There was a question on who Dr. Peter Mbaye is. He was at the MCA for Kabazi and a member of the health committee, which was investigating the circumstances under which PGH Annex could not be able to do anything within their compound. There was an issue that we should rely on the documents from the previous regime. I want to confirm that one of the documents annexed is a letter to NLC by the previous county secretary requesting NLC to reserve that land for the county for development of a specialized medical record. I also want to confirm in record we have the application that was done by War Memorial being declined by the former CC for lands. Thank you.
Chair, I think we may have exhaustively responded.
The questions by Senator Nyoto.
Okay. The one on the 7 directors versus the 2 directors, I think that has been responded to?
No.
Okay.
It has been partially responded to. The question by Senator Nyoto was the 2 government, how did the 2 officers find themselves there? What was their role in that? And War Memorial is expected to respond to when were they removed. So I think there's a matter there that has not been answered.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, sorry, I had missed that. The 2, Chair, as the history was very well stated earlier on how this hospital was given to this group in a public trust to take care of the returning war veterans. The fact that it was still a public trust is why the 2 directors, one representing then the provincial commissioner, that was the administrative system then, and the other, I believe they called the provincial health officer, medical officer. Yes, so that now was the representation of the public into this trust because it was not a private entity. Now, Chair and honorable members, the public, the regional, now would be the regional commissioner perhaps, and whoever it would be for the health, so that they then changed the directors, and that is why when we were reading the documents, the CR12s from previously to the non-true one now, I don't know, I'm trying not to use the word forgery or fraudulent, but to one that we state is not accurate or is not true, they dropped those and put in new directors without any, therefore changing the hospital from being one under public trust into one that is a personal limited, private limited company. However, Dr. Murema, if in a minute you can just say something to that effect. You have a bit of the history.
Through the chair, upon devolution, we would have expected that with the new configuration of the county executive, to have had somebody to present health, like Director of Medical Services in the county, and probably the county, either county commissioner or own administration within the sub-county administrator for that area where the facility is located. Otherwise, for now, we don't have anyone representing the interest of the public in the current dispensation of ownership of the hospital. Thank you, Chair.
There are still two more. Senator, you'll have to hold because members have to ask their questions. So just hold on. There are two questions that have not been answered by Senator Nyotu. Senator Nyotu asked that why was there a takeover in spite of the fact that there was a court order? And the other question was from Senator Nyotu whether there was a legal basis for the takeover.
Oh, thank you, Chair. Yeah, we are trying to make sure we don't miss anything. Proceed, Wakili. Briefly, so you don't be too detailed.
And maybe so that you don't go missing. I can see the CC held is just that they are not answering confidently. Now, can you take the questions on Boya of your governor? List them when they are being asked. Yeah. Yes, and you can be sharing the list so that they tick one by one.
Chair, Senator Nyotu has rightly pointed that there was a takeover that was done by the county. It follows the cancellation of the lease upon a complaint being made and the land registrar Nakuru having cancelled the lease that was then granted to Nakuru Memorial Hospital Limited.
Through the chair, where is the cancellation in your documents?
I'm not sure whether it was attached, but Senior Counsel, it forms the basis of the dispute in JR7.
Does anybody have a copy here?
It is actually attached in the documents. There is a notice. I think there is somewhere I saw it. Maybe we have a copy. As the
I haven't seen it.
County Secretary.
We have a copy.
Let me.
You can have a copy if you have.
Yeah, we have a copy.
Of the cancellation.
The purported cancellation is B. I think I have it here.
I don't know why the two parties like using the word purported. And you are not the authors of this document, so I don't know why.
But it states it was on the basis of loss of a certificate. And it was not lost, we had it.
You know, Director and Nakuru County, you know, if you are not the author of the document, just leave it as it is, just make reference to that document. You know? So as the County Secretary looks at that, so that you can answer the next question for Senator Nyotu, even if there was notice cancelling the extension, is it the extension or issuance of the new lease? So if you cancel the extension, where is the base? Where does it refer back to? I'm just asking.
Thank you, Chair. That is a valid question. A cancellation has happened. There is a vacuum that is presented. Schedule 4 of the Constitution kicks in on the question of the health function, and basically the party that the Constitution has granted the mandate for management and running of the health function. And that is why the governor, when she made a presentation, had introductory statements that spoke to the role of the county insofar as promoting and actually facilitating the health processes. So as a result of the vacuum, and due to the fact that, and the Senator mentioned that, of course, there is the humanity aspect, the hospital could not remain as it is because the occupants clearly did not have a legal right to be there. So the county then had to come in, and I'm very disturbed with the fact that it is being called a raid because the events that were there were nothing close to a raid. It was actually a legal takeover as a result of the vacuum.
Senator Chimera.
Maybe on the lease. Can I hear from
Senator Mogeni? You know, there is a chair for this.